Tonight, a 13-year-old girl is still missing, and it's been days since she was last seen. Now a search party is taking place to help find her. Plus, a new report by the NTSB shows 2 Toledo bridges have an unknown collapse risk if hit by a ship. We'll break down what the city and neighbors have to say.
And from sunshine to showers, tracking several rounds of wet weather that'll impact those weekend plans. I'll have your full forecast coming up. Kaylee?
Thanks for joining us on this Friday night on WTOL 11 News on Plus. I'm Kaylee Maritet. Let's take a look at your top stories. The search continues for a missing 13-year-old in North Toledo. Kaimani Latigue was last seen in the early hours of Tuesday morning. Latigue's family says she was not answering her phone, and that behavior like this is out of the ordinary for her. WTOL 11 followed a search party that was organized this afternoon and spoke to Latigue's mother, who lives in Cleveland. She says the last few days have taken an emotional toll on her.
It would be the world to me. Like this, I hate to, I don't like cursing, but honestly, this is breaking me. I've been falling the apart since I found out. I've legitimately been on social media since the minute I found out, spreading awareness, sending out flyers, contact information, anything to get my baby home. I have not slept in 3 days. I have not ate in 3 days.
If you have any information that could lead to Kaimani's whereabouts, you're asked to call Toledo Police or Crime Stoppers. A report released Thursday from the National Transportation Safety Board reveals 68 bridges in the United States are at an unknown collapse risk if hit by a ship. 2 of those bridges are here in Toledo, the Anthony Wayne Bridge and the Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge. Silver Barker has the details tonight.
The Anthony Wayne Bridge and the Martin Luther King Jr. Bridge, both bridges that cross the Maumee River.
I don't take those bridges often, but my husband takes them to work.
Built before 1991, the bridges did not go through a vulnerability assessment, meaning the bridge collapse in Baltimore last year could have the same outcome for these bridges should a ship hit them.
So yeah, I would definitely be concerned about his safety on those and just the safety of everybody who has to take them every day.
Leah Whitaker, a longtime Toledo resident, says she's not surprised to learn the 2 bridges are on the list, but she hopes the state does something about it.
Toledo is, it gets a lot of traffic in from Canada, from Detroit. It's a regional hub and port, so it should be more of a regional concern.
In part of a statement we received from the Ohio Department of Transportation said, quote, ships that navigate Ohio's waterways are much smaller than the international container vessel that struck the Baltimore Bridge, end quote. The department says immediately following the incident in Baltimore, it reviewed key bridges and determined protections were in place. ODOT tells us work has been done within the last 10 years on the Anthony Wayne Bridge, such as dehumidification and replacing truss spans with steel girder spans. As for the MLK Bridge, that is the city of Toledo's responsibility. The city told me it, quote, conducts FHWA required structural inspections every 12 months and dive inspections every 60 months. We work closely with the U.S. Coast Guard regarding vessel traffic, end quote.
ODOT says they are currently waiting for additional guidance from the Federal Highway Administration regarding this situation. Well, Stellantis is offering a voluntary termination and retirement packages to some factory employees in Toledo. According to the company, the packages are available for eligible UAW hourly non-skilled bargaining unit employees at the Toledo Assembly Complex and Toledo Machining Plant. Employees have until May 8th to decide. Stellantis says the buyouts are in an effort to, quote, improve efficiency and protect its competitiveness in a very dynamic market, end quote. Yesterday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education, but what does that mean for education in our region? Today, Ryan Lucien went to find out.
On Thursday, President Donald Trump signed an executive order to dismantle the Department of Education. That move is making some people we spoke to feel anxious.
I think it's a bad thing. I'm really worried.
Emily Allen is a mother from Pemberville, whose son is just about the age to go to preschool and needs special education. But with the possible cuts...
Yeah, we have a lot of questions. Hopefully, he can get some type of assistance if he needs it. I don't know if he'd qualify or not, but it definitely throws a big question on the future for his preschooling.
According to Harvard Graduate School of Education, the Department of Education helps distribute federal funds for schools, enforcing civil rights laws, and conducting educational research. Perrysburg School Superintendent Tom Hostler says they anticipated the cuts as it was one of the president's goals. but he can see how people are worried with the role the department plays.
I think has local superintendents maybe a little bit nervous is, okay, how will these things that they do now be handled moving forward?
The order still needs to be passed by Congress. Until then, Hostler says they will anticipate the chance it will pass.
We want to give it a chance, for it to get off the ground, and whatever that plan is. I mean, we're not 100% sure yet what that will look like.
For Perrysburg schools, this adds another level of uncertainty for a district already facing questions with financing. No word when the future of the Department of Education could be up for debate and a vote in Congress. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held today to celebrate the opening of a new pharmacy. The Junction Family Pharmacy is on Dorr Street in central Toledo. The pharmacy officially opened to the public in December. U.S. Congresswoman Marcy Kaptur and Toledo City Council members were there for the celebration. The owner grew up in the area and is a pharmacist. He says he saw a need in the community with the recent closings of Rite Aids.
Generally, we know that patients live within 5 miles of a pharmacy. So with the Rite Aid departures, that really left a big hole. So people need their medications, they need to stay healthy, they need a place to go to ask their pharmacist questions.
The pharmacy is located on Dorr Street near the Mott Branch Library.
Weather-wise, after a sunny Friday evening, we do have showers that are going to be returning late tonight. Very, very light rainfall, barely enough to wet the pavement, and it's quickly going to be turning sunny into your Saturday afternoon. That weekend outlook does feature increasing sunshine Saturday with another system that is going to bring us some PM rain during Sunday afternoon and Sunday evening. Doppler radar is quiet, and it's expected to stay that way through at least midnight. There has been a little bit more cloud cover start to work in from the west. Temperature-wise, very pleasant. A little bit above average in the temperature department in the lower 50s for those Friday night plans. However, I have my sights on our next cold front, and that one's currently situated in the upper Midwest, and that is going to bring us a chillier breeze as well as some sprinkles overnight tonight. So the hour-by-hour timeline does show you a few light rain showers coming in along that front, barely enough to wet the pavement. Heading into your Saturday afternoon, the sky actually clears out very nicely with a little bit more sunshine returning. Sunday is going to start off dry, but there is going to be another rainmaker. You'll notice that on the side of your screen coming in from the west, and that's going to be bringing us some steady soaking showers. You'll even notice a little bit of blue on here. Some computer model data does show a couple snowflakes that may try to mix in later on in the day. By about 10 p.m. Sunday, rain's going to be moving out and exiting into eastern Ohio. So how much rain can you expect? Latest data shows about a quarter to up to half an inch of rainfall. Really nothing to write home about as far as the rain is concerned, and certainly no flooding risk with this rainfall. Saturday's forecast turning sunny, so the afternoon, if you're a little patient, I do think it'll be brighter and nicer into the afternoon with 44-degree temperature readings. That hour by hour shows you a brisk feeling morning. We're going to be down in the 30s right after that front passes, and then by the afternoon, sunshine should help those temps spike back up into the 40s. Overall, it is going to be cooler than average. Our normal high for this time of year is 51, and the weekend 44 and 48 with late day showers possible into your Sunday. Monday, the breeze kicks back up again, and temperatures expected to stay a bit brisk in the mid 40s. Now, despite the cool down, there are some signs pointing towards a slight warm up next weekend, and at the very least, that'll lift those highs up into the 50s. Temperatures do climb back up to 50 degrees by Thursday. Friday is the Mud Hens opener, and there is a slight chance for a shower or two. And overall, the 10-day forecast features a couple 50s at the end, but likely staying cooler than average through the tail end of March. Kaylee?
All right, thanks, John. A Perrysburg school teacher is under investigation after allegedly following a student's bus home on Wednesday to check if the student finished their homework. Perrysburg police say a concerned parent contacted the principal of Whole Prairie Intermediate School. The student's father arrived home to find the teacher at the front door. The teacher reportedly said he was confirming the student completed their assignment because the class would receive a pizza party if all students finished their work. A police report says the parent told the principal they were unaware the teacher was planning on coming to the house. In the police report, the teacher stated he sometimes does this for students and asked the student if he could follow their bus home. Police say no one has been charged with a crime at this time. The district confirmed to WTOL 11 that the teacher was placed on administrative leave. The Perrysburg superintendent shared a statement today with us, reading in part, quote, Perrysburg Schools is committed to maintaining a safe, respectful, and supportive environment for all students. Staff members are expected to uphold professional boundaries and exercise sound judgment in accordance with their legal, professional, and ethical responsibilities. When a staff member's actions do not align with these standards, the district will take action, end quote. You can read the full statement on our website. A former University of Michigan football coach is accused of serious internet crimes. A new indictment accused the quarterback's coach and co-offensive coordinator Matthew Weiss of hacking thousands of students' athletes' accounts. He faces 14 counts of unauthorized access to computers and 10 counts of aggravated theft. The alleged crimes range from 2015 to January of 2023. He allegedly downloaded personally identifiable information from more than 150,000 student athletes nationwide, all from a database. Students on campus say it's shocking to hear allegations like this.
I definitely like to think the best in people, and hearing that someone has abused their power definitely is upsetting to hear, especially when it comes at the cost of students' information.
After allegedly hacking the database, Weiss is accused of hacking email and social media accounts of more than 2,000 athletes by guessing or resetting passwords. Federal prosecutors say he then downloaded personal intimate pictures and videos. Court documents stated he allegedly kept notes on the photos or videos he saw. He was put on leave in early 2023, and weeks later he was fired. If convicted, he faces 50 years in prison. The Brookings Institution released a study right at the start of the pandemic showing which U.S. cities would feel the economic impact of COVID-19 first. Toledo was in the top 5. That was one of a number of things 5 years ago that jolted Toledo Mayor Wade Kapsakavage. During a sit-down interview with the mayor this week, Kapsakavage says another moment that shook him happened during a conference call with the governor.
We were on one of those calls, and the governor just adopted an attitude and a seriousness that I was not prepared for. He said, look, however bad any of you think this is going to be, it's going to be 10 times worse. And he started talking about MASH units outside hospitals. He was talking in terms of the imagery of body bags.
You can view our full conversation with the mayor as he covers the politics of the pandemic, how COVID-19 impacted him and tested his faith, online or right here on WTOL 11+. There was a good turnout for today's 11 Together blood drive in Maumee, helping supply keep up with demand for the American Red Cross, drawing pints of blood from 7 a.m. until 6 o'clock tonight. Dan Cummins has more from the United Methodist Church in Maumee.
We live in the northern Ohio region of the American Red Cross. The need every day is 500 pints of blood. Once drawn, it's sent to more than 70 local hospitals in northwest Ohio. Friday's blood drive at the Maumee United Methodist Church, part of WTOL 11's 11 Together. The Red Cross has a trained staff for going on the road closer to your neighborhood. You can check their website for other blood drives in the area. Chelsea Benton from the American Red Cross.
We'll probably have maybe around 60, or we may just slide in if some other people come last minute. We are taking walk-ins. And I would say that in January and February, whenever we have cancellations due to weather, that's whenever the need is very critical. And also in the summertime, because people are on vacations, they're on hiatuses, they're out and about, and the thought of donating maybe is not as prevalent.
This blood drive collected whole blood, but that can be broken down into different products. Red blood cells used for surgery or emergencies, trauma, anemia, platelets that are a clotting component, much of it goes to help cancer patients, and plasma used for emergencies to help stop bleeding. I'm type O positive blood, so I try to give blood every few months. It's every 6 weeks or so that you can give blood again. One benefit of the month of March, the American Red Cross